Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to begin with a quick disclaimer based on my use of AI. I employ AI vocals to narrate my work due to a slight speech impediment. Please know that despite this accommodation, the words and video editing are my own. Thanks for understanding. Let's start the reading. When it comes to the great comedic pioneers of early cinema, you will likely see the name Charlie Chaplin among the list of legends. He was best known for his character, the Little Tramp, a bumbling and awkward presence with a square mustache, a wooden cane, and a bowler hat. Chaplin came to fame in a multitude of short films before embarking on his own with funny and socially conscious full-length movies. Chaplin's life was just as cinematic as he experienced personal and professional highs and lows, from poverty to financial success, and from fame to exile. He was a man of great artistic intelligence, but not escapable from scandal. Despite the controversies, Charlie Chaplin lived to be 88 years old, and he remains one of the most recognizable figures in entertainment on an international level. As part of my ongoing study in tarot reading and channeling, I turned to the cards one evening in February 2024 in hopes of connecting with Chaplin through spirit and asking simple but pertinent questions about his life and career. I managed to ask 11 questions during the session, drawing a tarot card to represent each answer. Are you ready? Let's begin. For the first question, I thought about an incident that happened after he died in 1977. After Charlie Chaplin was laid to rest, robbers literally removed his coffin from the ground 3 months later and held it for ransom. The thieves were eventually caught, and the body was returned 2 months later to its current plot in Switzerland. So how does Chaplin feel about the grave robbery incident? The card is Ace of Wands. One word to describe this card is progress. As the hand holds the wand in the picture, it's a symbol of having power and taking control, of having energy, and also optimism about the challenge ahead. In this case, Chaplin was pleased by the outcome of this incident and the actions taken to resolve the robbery. Both Chaplin's widow, Oona, and the Swiss police collaborated to resolve the situation. I think this card shows Charlie giving credit to where credit is due.
Oh, I was very, very happy, of course. And thrilled with the Swiss police, who were marvelous. They kept on the job, for 2 months. I got discouraged, but they didn't.
Question 2. How does he feel about his legacy? The card is Eight of Wands reversed. The Eight of Wands typically represents making moves and taking initiative, but in the reversed position, this suggests that Charlie may find the handling of his legacy somewhat messy and not well thought out. He might have felt decisions were made either too hastily or provoked delays, causing interest to wane. For some reason, I was reminded of his museum in Switzerland called Chaplin's World. I soon found out that the museum's grand opening was delayed for a few years. While meditating, I thought of the word sooner, as if so much could have been done sooner to further cement his legacy to the masses. Question 3. How does he feel about the state of the world today? The card is Ace of Cups reversed. It's clear through Charlie Chaplin's socio-political projects like Modern Times and The Great Dictator that he cared deeply for the state of worldly affairs and used cinema to express his concerns. The Ace of Cups reversed solidifies these feelings. Years after his death, the card hints that Chaplin views our modern world as broken and in a state of regression. For the next 2 questions, let's examine the comedian's views on the entertainment industry today. Question 4. How does Charlie Chaplin feel about the state of comedy in present-day entertainment? The card is Three of Pentacles reversed. With this card, the reverse Three of Pentacles card indicates a lack of teamwork in the land of laughter. Chaplin may find today's comedians have the mentality of every man for himself rather than working together to achieve a common and greater goal. This position also calls the importance of collaboration. Question 5. Still on the subject of show business, what does he appreciate the most about people working in the industry today? The card is Seven of Pentacles. If there's one group Charlie might shine favor upon, it's those who work hard and strive to refine their skills. The Seven of Pentacles card seeks to press forward and improve their work over time. The next question returns to the subject of Charlie Chaplin's death. It's been said that Chaplin did not like the Christmas holidays, partially due to his impoverished upbringing. In an odd twist of fate, the performer passed away on Christmas Day. So how does he feel about passing away on Christmas Day? The card is Nine of Pentacles reversed. Pentacle cards usually indicate finances and general abundance, and the Nine of Pentacles in the upright points to self-satisfaction and security. But here in the reversed, Nine of Pentacles points to some kind of loss with said abundance, or having few plans to make success happen. When I first saw this card, I imagined Chaplin felt dissatisfied with the timing of his death, perhaps wanting to accomplish more in his life, but feeling powerless in the face of his own mortality. For question 7, I asked for a card to represent Charlie's feelings about his wife, Oona O'Neill Chaplin. Oona was Charlie's 4th wife, and they had been married for 34 years. The card presented here is the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is not the happiest card in the tarot deck, but that doesn't mean his last marriage was a terrible one. If we look closely at the artwork in the card, you'll see a man and a woman together in the cold, outcast but not alone. Oona had already entered Chaplin's life during a tumultuous period for the comedian. He was involved in a scandalous paternity suit, and by the early 1950s, public favor had decreased, so much so that Charlie was investigated by the FBI for ties to communism. While Oona and Charlie were on vacation in Europe, the actor was denied entry back into the United States. Oona wasn't, but she stood by him and settled all his American business affairs, later renouncing her citizenship. Oona, Charlie, and their children settled into a new life in Switzerland. Now that you've heard this short history lesson on Charlie and Oona, don't the Five of Pentacles make more sense? It reflects highly on Charlie's real-life exile from the United States, but the artwork accurately shows that Chaplin was not alone in his painful ordeal. Oona was there, and she was devoted to him until the very end. Let's switch it up. For questions 8 and 9, I wanted to turn my attention toward the movie Chaplin, a 1992 biopic about Charlie's life and 2 key players of the production. In the movie, Robert Downey Jr. portrayed the legendary comedian and received positive reviews as well as an Oscar nomination. But what did Charlie Chaplin think of Robert's performance? The card is Queen of Pentacles reversed. This is an especially interesting card for this question. In the upright, Queen of Pentacles is both nurturing and practical and grounded. In the reverse, there is a tremendous lack of care and feelings of unease. I sense 2 reactions in regard to Chaplin's perception of Robert's performance. On one hand, Charlie may have been envious of the biopic and felt a lack of sensitivity toward the movie. Maybe, if possible, Chaplin himself would show up on set to make sure things were handled correctly. I was also drawn to another meaning of the reversed Queen of Pentacles, which is the need to take care of oneself. On the other hand, Chaplin may have picked up on the personal trials of the actor portraying him, sending a message of concern to Robert Downey Jr., who at the time was dealing with substance abuse. Charlie Chaplin's mother, Hannah, is highlighted in the biopic. In her heyday, Hannah was also a performer and a source of inspiration to her son. Plagued by marriage troubles and growing medical issues, she struggled to provide for her children. Charlie and his brothers were sent to an orphanage while Hannah was institutionalized. In the movie Chaplin, Hannah is portrayed by her real-life granddaughter and Charlie's first daughter, Geraldine. So what does Charlie Chaplin think about his daughter portraying his mother in the film? I drew the Page of Swords reversed. Geraldine Chaplin never got the chance to meet her grandmother, who passed away 16 years before she was born. Much like the concern upheld in the previous card for Robert Downey Jr., the Page of Swords in reverse follows similar suit. The Page of Swords is a bit like an information encyclopedia, whereas the reversed version is either tight-lipped or revealing all with malicious intent. There is concern with this card, and I feel Chaplin steps forward in full protective mode over his mother. I sense a great deal of stress in the way his mother's story is told and prefer it only to be shared if the information is correct. It's safe to say that none of us were present to witness the relationship between Hannah and her son Charlie, but I like to see the Page of Swords reversed as Charlie's way of saying to approach the role with equal parts caution and empathy. Since the role was taken on by Charlie Chaplin's own daughter, this card could also confirm the performance was in good hands. As we near the end of this reading, I wanted to save my 2 best questions for last. For question 10, I asked Charlie, if he were alive today, what kind of movie would he make? The card presented is Death reversed. Let that card sink in. It's Death reversed. So if Charlie Chaplin was not dead, he would be death reversed. I can't begin to tell you how long I laughed after pulling this card. Spirit is definitely assuring me that the comedian's humor is alive and well. All joking aside, the reverse death card opens up a portal of possibilities when observing the kind of movie he would make in today's world. Death reversed is all about change, even if we are hesitant to accept it. Like the upright position of this card, the reversed can be a bad omen depending on the situation. I think about his last film, A Countess from Hong Kong, where it received reviews the picture was out of date and unfunny by contemporary standards. In these modern times, this card predicts Chaplin would likely be inspired and taken aback by the territory out of his comfort zone. But leave it to the legend to find humor while trying to navigate. And finally, our last question. For this one, I pulled 2 cards. Which film does Charlie Chaplin think is his very best? Here we have the 2 of Cups and the 9 of Swords. Let's look at each card on its own. The 2 of Cups talks of connection between 2 parties. The bond is formed on an emotional level, and it doesn't always mean the feelings are romantic. The 9 of Swords comes from a dark place and symbolizes depression, fear, and anguish. Notice how the card shows a woman in bed with her face in her hands. She is clearly alone and suffering. To answer this question, I was reminded of 2 films from Chaplin's catalog. The first is City Lights from 1931, considered a favorite among his fans and movie lovers alike. In the film, Charlie's character falls for a blind flower merchant, played by Virginia Cherrill. In a literal sense, the woman shielding her face in the 9 of Swords could point to the character's inability to see. However, even the drama showcased in City Lights is treated rather lightly, and the 9 of Swords is in no way a lightweight card. The next film I thought of is more plausible, and that is Limelight from 1952. It's parts comedy and drama. Chaplin plays an aging comedian confronting his fading career. He befriends a ballerina dancer named Terry, who is also struggling. Early in the film, the dancer tries to take her own life but is saved by Chaplin. The 2 bond over their attempts to survive in a cruel world and share a deep love for one another, switching between romantic and platonic. I should also note that Terry spends much of her time in bed as she recovers, and there is a key flashback moment that ends with Chaplin sitting on his bed. If I had to choose between City Lights and Limelight as a representative for the 2 of Cups and 9 of Swords, I would definitely give Limelight the top prize. But what do you think? Feel free to share your thoughts on the cards and the life and work of Charlie Chaplin by leaving a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.